Leo, my name is Gregory Scott and this is your astrology forecast for July 2015. Thank you for joining me. It's a real pleasure to be with you today, and I'm going to give you a really in-depth view of your astrology for the month. I'm not going to draw any tarot cards. I'm going to have a look at the planets, the luminaries. I'm going to check what aspects they make with each other, how they interact, and how that's going to impact you. So the first thing that I see for you this month is a T-square on the 1st of July. So you start this month with a placement that represents a real challenge, a real problem, but that has a solution, a way out of that problem. And the first thing that's problematic here is that what you see yourself as working quite hard, and I think you're feeling like you're almost put upon. I think you're working too hard. I think you feel like you don't have time to follow your own heart's desires, your own dreams, your own spiritual growth, and I think you feel a little bit victimized by all of that. The way out of that is not to go into victim mentality, but to continue to work and to share your ideas and to be really productive. So you've got a choice there, and I would urge you to continue to look at how can I help, how can I be productive. At the same time, your midheaven and your ascendant, they are in a square aspect from the 1st of July through until the 30th of July, so the whole month. And the ascendant is what you're like, how you see yourself, and that's in Virgo. And that means you see yourself as that worker bee, as that person who's very productive. And the midheaven is in Gemini. Both of them are ruled by Mercury, so both of them are about communication. So the answer for you is to continue working, but not to be so receptive and to get bogged down with all the information that you're getting in, but also to think about, what do I have to contribute? What do I have to say? What is my message? What do I want to share? So it's from being quite passive and just letting things happen to you, to taking charge and to taking control and to being active and to giving things out. Share your experience, share your message. Don't just work on everyone else's. Mercury is also in a sextile relationship with Uranus at this time between the 30th of June through until the 4th of July. Mercury is communication and Uranus is the unexpected, it's miracles. And that's in your 9th house. So I really think that you have access and you're privy, or you discover something that is unique to you, and it's important for you to speak. It's not just for you to feel more comfortable or easy and just talking for the sake of it, but it's that you actually have something unique and interesting and pioneering and insightful to share with people that other people need to hear. So do us a service by speaking your truth at the beginning of July. The full moon occurs on the 2nd, and the full moon is a culmination, and this full moon is in Capricorn in your 6th house. So a real blossoming, new life in your career, in your working life, as a result of your communication, as your inspiration, the things that you're sharing with people, those factors lead to new life in your work. Pluto is right on top of your moon. That this is a full moon with Pluto conjunct, which means this is like a full moon. This is like a spooky full moon. That's like it brings the dead back to life. And this is, if it's in the 6th house of your career, it brings your lost hopes and dreams, your lost aspirations, the dead opportunities, it brings them back to life and it revitalizes your career. Sorry for the gruesome imagery, but that's what it's like. It's the phoenix rising from the ashes. Saturn squares Venus from the 3rd of July through until the 15th of August. And Venus is the goddess of love. And she's being kind of restricted by Saturn there in your 4th house of family. So don't let people tell you what you ought to be doing. Don't let people control you. You're in charge here. Venus is in your sign, so is Jupiter. So I really feel that on this day, someone's going to get in your ear and say, you can't do this, you shouldn't do this, be responsible, da-da-da-da-da. And that you're able to go, thanks for sharing, but I'm going to do what I need to do. And I think that's right. I think it's really important for you to be selfish that way. And that's there for a while. It's there for 2 weeks. And I think for the first 2 weeks of July, it's really important that you go your own way and that You do what you love, and you don't compromise. Sometimes it's important to do that because it has a point to it. So, for instance, if my grandfather is sick and no one's there to take care of him, and I have to put myself aside to take care of him, I'm doing something useful, and I'm being of service, and it's important for me to put my own desires on hold. But this, what I'm getting, is that someone is trying to restrict you, to oppress you for no real positive reason. So you need to tell them to do one and do what it is you like. Okay. The Sun trines Neptune from the 24th of June until the 9th of July. And this is, I love this, because Neptune is the aspiration, it's the dream. And whenever that connects with the Sun, good things happen, okay? Because it's almost like you're inspired, you're more intuitive, you're sensitive, you're creative, you're all of those beautiful, feminine, really gentle energies. I love this. And they trine each other for almost 3 weeks here. And your Sun is in your 12th and Neptune's in the 8th. It gives you a huge amount of personal glamour. Wow. So Leo is going to be very glamorous at this time. You're going to look fabulous. You can look fabulous. You're also very much in touch with the pulse. You know, you understand things. You understand other people. You know the way things ought to look, the way things ought to feel, the way things are. You can make yourself look good. You have that ability to put your best foot forward, to present yourself in a way that's pleasing to other people, and that's a real gift. So go for job interviews, do speeches, do presentations where people get to see you looking your best, being your best, because they'll fall in love with you and that will lead to other opportunities. Fabulous. Okay. Mercury moves into Cancer on the 9th of July, and that happens in your 12th house. So you've got a lot of stuff going on in Cancer there in your 12th. Very emotional, very oriented towards other people, very much interested in how you can help other people, and you're very, you're going to be really good to have around because you're there taking care of others. So the beginning of the month when you were stifled for no real reason, which is that Saturn. Yeah, so the Saturn-Venus connection between the 3rd of July to 15th of August, there's a real stifling. There's a sense of you're being stifled for no real reason. But at the same time, you want to help other people anyway. So don't let yourself feel guilty. You are doing good. You are helping people. It's okay to be selfish because you're already giving. And if someone gives you grief about that, you don't need to really buy into that because you're giving a lot anyway. You've got 4 planets in Cancer, which really means that you're being so service-oriented. Your biggest element is water at this time. So you're going to feel a little bit frustrated anyway with that much water because you're fire, but you're going to be Florence Nightingale, for goodness sake. So if anyone guilts you, tell them to move on very quickly. There's another T-square in your chart on the 11th of July, and this is between Saturn and the Moon, and the solution is Jupiter and Venus in your 1st house. Okay, you're going to feel very comfortable at work, and I think you're not going to have any luck in your family. I think the guilt comes from a family member, someone really just getting on your case, and the way to deal with this is not to take notice of other people's opinions and to just let your own light shine and to go your own way. That's a repetition of what's happened, and when the chart repeats itself like this and gives you a solution to a problem, it means it's really important to hear that message. Mars has conjuncted the Sun for the whole of June, and it finishes on the 12th of July. So you become a little less driven to help others, and I think you start to relax a little bit. The other thing that comes to an end is Pluto opposing the Sun, which has been the case from the 27th of July through until the 14th of July. And that means that you become a little less hard on yourself in terms of There's a real sense of responsibility, and at the beginning of the month, during that full moon, there was a rebirth to your career, and there's been a sense of guilt about why you so, other people need you. Why are you so focused on yourself? Da, da, da. And it could be that someone is in your ear giving you that message, but I think there's also a sense of guilt coming from yourself, and I think that guilt stops around the middle of the month. I don't know what you feel guilty about. I really see you being very helpful, being of service. But if you do have a sense of guilt, the best way to get rid, because guilt isn't a helpful emotion. Guilt is eating yourself up for something that you can't change anyway. Let's say you were driving a car and you were drunk and you killed someone. That guilt is going to be huge for you because your irresponsible actions have robbed someone else of their life. You have to, if you want to continue living as that driver, you're going to have to come to terms with that guilt at one point and forgive yourself. And I know that is such a tough example, but if that person who killed that other person continues to guilt themselves, one, they can never bring that other person back. Two, guilt doesn't change behavior. If you really want to do something about it, you stop drinking and you don't drive drunk anymore. That's the only thing you can do in future, really. And the third thing is that if you continue to live in that guilt, you will kill yourself with it. Then 2 lives are lost. Because guilt is not helpful. It just takes away. And if you're someone who drives, there may be something going on with alcohol anyway, but if you're living in guilt, you will drink even more. So it's important for you to take action to relieve the guilt, and the only way to relieve guilt is to do something practical, to take action, because guilt is about non-action, and the way out of it is to do what you can and then to let it go. Okay. Guilt is such a huge topic, and I've just scratched the very surface of that. So please, I know it's a lot more complicated than that. Let's have a look. We're on, where was I before I got sidetracked? Yes, Jupiter is in conjunction with Venus from the 17th of June and through until the 13th of August. So a long, long time, almost 2 months. And this is in your first house of self. So the biggest talent that you've got, the biggest anchor, the biggest root is that luck factor and that love for yourself. Both of those are in Leo, and all you need to do is to get rid of difficult external circumstances, is just to focus on what it is you care about and what you can do. And to navigate that with a sense of certainty, and to often disregard all of the other oppositions that you're getting this month. The new moon occurs on the 16th, and the new moon is a time of planting new seeds and developing and looking at the future and how you would like that to be. And you are very concerned with relieving yourself of difficult feelings, of being useful to other people, of not being so self-centered, of being helpful, and to create positive, loyal, long-lasting relationships with the people in your life that you care about. And the way to do that is to be true to yourself, but also to be considerate of other people, to do what it is you can, and to let go of the rest. And that's really the theme for this new moon, and it's been a big theme for this month already. It seems like that's all I've talked about, but that's really very important for you this month. Leo, you're warm, you care deeply about people, and I don't want you to get in a position this month where someone is putting you down or telling you that you're not good enough. You really are. Uranus squares Mars from the 16th of July onwards through till the 2nd of August. And this is interesting because Uranus is the rebel and Mars is the soldier. When these two men connect, it very much creates a force to be reckoned with. Uranus is in your 9th house of exploration, education, philosophy, theology, and kind of education and higher things, okay, higher knowledge. It connects with Mars in the 12th, and 12th is spirituality, other people being of service. So there's really something uniquely selfless about you. It's the dichotomy between being selfless and feeling guilty. It's crazy. So the way to move forward is to meditate, to listen to spirit. What is it uniquely that you have to offer? Oh, because that's the key to letting go of this guilt. You have something uniquely helpful to give. And the reason you're being guilty is because you're not actually giving us your gift. You've got something really wonderful to offer us, so please give it. Don't hang on to it. Don't keep it to yourself. If you've got that book that is so valuable to the rest of us that you know is inside you, but you've been too lazy or you've been procrastinating about doing it, then stop doing that and write the book. We want to hear it. And that's what your guilt is trying to propel you to do. So we got the answer there. Venus goes into Virgo on the 19th of July, and that's in your second house. And it conjuncts the moon also in Virgo. So this is a very comfortable time for you financially. Very good. You're going to be very much on top of your finances. I think your finances are going to look delightful. They're going to look very, very good. And I think you're going to be in a great place where you don't need to worry about money. There's another T-square that occurs on this day as well, the 19th, and it lasts until the 29th, so 10 days. And it's between Pluto and the midheaven, and the solution is the North Node and the Ascendant. The question again comes up is, are you doing the work that you're meant to be doing? And the way out of that, the way to do what you're meant to be doing, is to communicate in a harmonious way to help other people. Another reminder there for you. So the rest of the month is going to be about that too, because this T-square lasts until the 29th. So Leo, just to recap, you're not going to feel as good as you can do in July unless you get busy, unless you get productive. And if you do get productive and busy, you will feel like you're doing what you're meant to be doing. So don't shy away from that and don't procrastinate. Mercury goes into Leo, into your sign on the 24th. And that's 2 degrees away from your ascendant. So you become the communicator, and this is the time of the month when you speak most clearly, when your message comes across most effortlessly and without miscommunication, misunderstanding. This is the time to do a public speech, to go for that job interview. You come across as well as you possibly can. The next day, excuse me, on the 25th of July, there's a grand trine in water between the moon, Chiron, and Mars. And this really gives you the opportunity to learn something from another person and to incorporate that into your work. So you've been working quite hard now with how I've been nagging at you for the whole reading. You probably will have been working hard by now, and you get a gem, you get given a treasure, a gift from another person. That could be just a feeling that then gives you an idea, or it could be some words that they speak to you. But it's important for you to connect with another person, especially someone who you're intimate with, or who you're close to, or who's part of your family, someone in your inner circle, because they will offer you something really valuable that you can then use in your communications, in your work. Virgo goes into retrograde on this day as well, and Virgo is the planet of love, and the personal planets all retrograde. I mean, the most famous retrograde is Mercury retrograde. I think everyone knows about that. But Venus also retrogrades, and so does Mars. And Venus retrogrades until the 8th of September. And this is always a time to reassess and to reevaluate what it is you love. The goddess of love kind of cools off a little bit, and it's not the best time to sign agreements or to enter into new relationships. So use this time to be discerning in terms of what you're saying, what your communication is, and be true to yourself and be really clear on what it is you want to say and what you feel is right, rather than what someone else thinks you should or ought to be saying, or what you think they want to hear. Then finally, this month finishes with another full moon, and this is something that's really rare. We had a full moon on the 2nd of July, And usually in a month you have one full moon. In this month we have two full moons. And because it's so rare, it's called a blue moon. And that's where that saying actually comes from, once in a blue moon, because it happens so rarely. The next time this occurs is on the 31st of January 2018, so 3 years from now. When a blue moon occurs, so when two moons occur in 1 month, it means that month is highly productive for you and is a culmination, and it's an unearthing of something that is, it's like giving birth. It's like a birth, okay? Because one full moon is like a flower blossoming and something becoming realized and something culminating and becoming its essence. But two doubles that and strengthens it. The questions that you've got this month are really about, what do you feel guilty about? What is it that you're doing? What is it that you're meant to be doing? And that you really kind of get all your power together, and with all of those turbulent feelings, it blossoms and it becomes something that's really wonderful and of value. And it's almost like a child to you. It's like giving birth to a child. So this is an important month. This is a kind of seminal time in your life when you become and you offer us something that's really unique to you and that you have to offer as a gift. It's not just, something that anybody can do. It's something unique to you. So it's important that you show up in July and do your best, because you really have a lot to offer. And then, the unsaid bit about this is when you offer and you create value for other people, that value is added back to you, and it brings in honor and success and acclaim and money and feelings of meaning and purpose and all of those good things. So don't shy away from that and go for it. Have a wonderful month. If you'd like a private reading with me to have a look at your chart specifically, then please get in touch with me via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and you can also email me. The address is readings@gregoryscott.co.uk.